I don't know if you ever made them when you were. I mean, my mum used to make them when we were young. Rice Krispie cakes and cornflake cakes, you know, and it's like, oh, I'll make some more cornflake cakes.
I
You
still
know?
do those.
I know. Well, make them with, you know, the raw chocolate. Stir in some, you know, Rice Krispies or cornflakes. Put them into the little cases. Leave them to set. Spoon them out. They're delicious, you know, and they're raw. Or my other favourite, the thing, and this is a great thing again for a present. We've got some wonderful whole apricot pieces and mango slices and pineapple slices. Dip them, half dip them in the chocolate, and just leave them on some greaseproof paper to set. And they'll look fantastic. They'll look dramatic. The lovely darkness of the chocolate against the mango, the sweetness of the mango. These are great. Put 2 or 3 of those, you know, maybe a pineapple, a mango, and maybe an apple ring or something into a bag, and you've got a fantastic little present.
It's a lovely gift to take to a dinner party.
Yeah, you know.
Contribution.
I used to do it with strawberries.
Strawberries. Yes, yeah, fantastic. Dip them in. You know, like Valentine's Day, what a great thing to do. Or dinner parties, you know, do 2 or 3 of each and leave them as place settings at each, you know, place. Or the old, I don't know if they're coming back, you know, these chocolate fountains, you know, that idea. Well, just having the bowl in the middle there of raw chocolate with the fruit again, you know, and then just watch people's faces, because when you have the chocolate fountainy type stuff, again, it's sweet, it's processed, it's laden with milk, you know, and you don't get that lovely, intense, rich flavour. Put a bowl of that down and leave some fruit, you know, strawberries, cherries, you know, anything to dip, and just watch people's faces when they taste intensity of real raw chocolate. So I think that's probably done. I hope you've been inspired to maybe go and experiment with you know, raw chocolate or raw cacao powder in hot drinks, adding it to smoothies, using some of these ingredients. If you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer. There's a question at the back there.
Yeah, I was just going to
yeah, mosquito meal. I can open these up and you can try them. The best way is to perhaps try. All these products that we've got here come from a very, very good friend of mine called Shazzy. And I think some people here know Shazzy. She is a dear friend. She has got the most wonderful attitude to life in general, and to chocolate and all things raw in particular, and as a raw foodist. She's written several books. We got all these ingredients from Shazzy, from Raw Creation, Detox Your World. Shazzy has got a fantastic way of describing these. I can only say, read the back of the packs. She's got the most wonderful way of describing what these products are. Lucoma is, this is from Peru, and you find that there's a lot of products out there in South America that's flavoured with Lucoma, in much the same way that you'll find vanilla flavoured products here. So, you know, Lucoma flavoured ice cream is probably the biggest flavour in parts of South America. It's a bit like, I don't know, people think, you know, that coffee is the biggest drink in South America, but it isn't. It's probably mate tea. People drink more mate tea. So it's kind of like one of those misconceptions. People think that, you know, vanilla is probably the biggest flavour when it comes to ice cream. In South America, it's probably Lucoma. It's got a nice sweet. This is lovely to add to the chocolate. You can start adding these. Mesquite meal has got an almost kind of caramelly, I don't know if butterscotch is the right kind of, you need to test it. Feel free to test these. You'll get a sense of what I mean. You know, they're great. They add to the intensity of the flavour. So once you've made your first kind of batches of chocolate, start experimenting. And if you need some advice on, it's like, oh, what would happen if I add mesquite meal in? We're happy to tell you what effects, you know, it would have on the chocolate, and encourage you to go away and sample it, test it, and experiment with it. There's a few here, but yeah, there's some mesquite. Any of these that are not open, we'll open them up and you can try them. And of course, I'd be delighted if you try my raw chocolate as well and tell me what you think of it. We don't actually want to go home with any of this, so this has got to be eaten tonight. It won't keep. But we make loads of this at home, and as I say, keeps perfectly wrapped in foil in the freezer. And you know, whenever you fancy a chocolate high, you can do so without feeling. It's no longer a guilty pleasure. It's just a pleasure. You don't no longer need to feel guilty about it.
What's the longest day you leave it in the freezer? Probably about a month.
Oh, I won't stay in the freezer for long.
No,
you'll
you
be
said
making.
put it in the freezer.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably,
So
yeah, a month.
It'd be more than a month.
Yeah, a month, 6 weeks or whatever. But once you start making it, you'll just keep making batches of it. I just make lots of it, you know. You just make a couple of trays. Say, I gave up making it into these lovely little molds and stuff because it's all too pretty and fussy and fancy, and you know, it's just get them into the tray and, you know, throw in whatever you fancy and let it set and break it up, and it's fantastic. So, is there anything else? Any other questions that you might have? Yes, yes.
I would like to know how it is processed with, if you separate these beans into butter. What is used for?
It's just ground down. It's cold grinding. You know, like you can do it yourself at home. It's a bit laborious, but if you get a pestle and mortar and start grinding down, it's a good experiment. You'll see exactly what I mean. Within a couple of minutes of grinding it, you'll start to see this liquid, oily substance come out, and that's going to be the butter, and that will solidify into the butter. But it's an oil.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if there is much done to it, you know, or changed somehow.
No, not with Chazzy's product. No, not with this. This remains raw because she's very careful to make sure that the actual grinding process is cold grind, you know, because when you start doing this on an industrial scale, if you've got these grindstones whizzing round, they're creating friction, they're creating heat, they're raising the temperature, and before you know it, it's not raw anymore. So these are all done very, very slowly. You've seen how I was doing that. You know, this was actually melting very slowly. Everything's done at a low temperature in order to maintain the integrity of the cacao. You know, we don't want to spoil that because when you actually come to enjoy it, you want to know that it's still raw and you're getting the benefits of it. You know, this is a proper, healthy food. This is a great food. You know, food of the gods.